No, it is not. Alright, guys. Now we're good. Let me fix up a couple of things here with the cameras. My sound went off for a second there, and all of the OBS cameras messed up because it just decided that it was just too much to handle.
Just make me beautiful. That's all I ask.
I'm working on it, man. I'm going to make you as beautiful as possible.
We got all night, and you're gonna.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. So while we're sitting here and I'm trying to get your faces all in the right spots, how have you guys been?
Pretty good, enjoying that 2.55 storyline.
Yeah?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I'm still making my way through it. I haven't gotten through 2.5 yet. 2.55.
Oh, yeah. It's
Dang.
worth it.
Tetra has jokes.
Yeah, it does. There's no rush though. I mean, the way I see it, you know, you have between now and Heaven's Word to get it all done. So I'm not gonna rush through it.
Just trying to milk the story as much as I could.
Yeah.
And everybody in my free company was like, "You need to do it, dude. I can't believe you beat it." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." You, all of you.
Whatever, you were freaking posting in FC chat. What's going on? I can't believe what's happening. Like, shut up, Gilly. I'm trying to do the story.
Little did you know I wasn't even in an instance.
Yeah, I completed it just over the weekend, and I am happy I did. But, you know, we're not going to talk too much about it because there's other shows that are going to go into spoilers for it, but I decided that we won't do spoilers. We can do opinions on it.
Actually watched Chocobo Dash earlier today, and they went all spoilery with it. They went down the whole storyline.
Jeez. Yeah? I mean,
Yeah.
It's something to talk about. I figure we can talk about it when it gets closer to Heaven's Ward and it's a little bit more
Yeah,
relevant.
of course. A little more people get through it.
Yeah. Alright, I think I'm making you beautiful right now, Samus. Hold on. I'm working on it. It takes me a little bit of work, but I think I can do it. Alright. There we go. No, I got you. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. You can talk to them and ask them, but I spent like 5-10 minutes setting all this stuff up, and then it just all crashed on me before the stream. But anyways, welcome tonight to MogTalk episode number 7. Today's date is Monday. It's Monday. Today's date is April 6, 2015. Tonight I have with me returning Gilly and Adagio. I also have Samus, who is new on the show tonight, and said that he would stop by and just kind of hang out with us.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's only Monday. Nothing else to do except, you know, farm and get through 2.55.
Yeah.
And kill turn 13 for us patties who haven't gone through it yet.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Have you beat T13, Samus? Or are you still?
I haven't.
I haven't either, so
There you go.
there we go, we bros.
But do you have a static though,
I
or
do.
like are you just? Oh, okay. Okay, then. Well, I don't know, cause I pug everything. That's why. That's my excuse.
Oh man, yeah, I did that in freaking first turn or first coil. I pugged everything.
Yeah. I could just not get it to work. I mean, I get pissed off at people too easily. I have to get with the right people. That's not going to make me want to strangle them at the end of the raid. I've lost lots of people because of it. Anyways, tonight we're going to be talking about just regular stuff. The Mock Talk's just a show based on weekly news, game discussion, and other things for Final Fantasy XIV. One extra note. I need a phrase. If you guys have any phrases that you want to come up with for this show that I can say every time that we start up MogTalk, let me know. Send me a Twitch message and just tell me what I can say that's actually, you know, kind of interesting. And tonight we'll be doing a couple of things. I'm going to do a Q&A with Samus here since his first time on here. I will figure a few people still don't know who he is. And then we're going to go over a little bit of news, discussion, and I want to talk about real money trading and Cash Shop tonight, which I have a lot of opinions on, and I hope that you guys have some opinions on it as well. And I would also say we'll go in a little bit of a review for 2.55. And okay, does my audio sound bad to you guys, or is it just a stream? Does it sound a little bit bad?
I can't tell over the stream. You're fine over Skype, but I don't know about the stream.
Okay, yeah. Well, guys, let me know if you guys can't hear me too well. Tetra said that he or she cannot hear me very well. So, well, anyways, until then, Samus, welcome to the show, man.
Good to be here. Thanks for. I was really flattered that you guys asked me. It's cool. Came out of nowhere, man.
Well, I mean, I've seen your stream a few times, and you've been streaming for quite a while, right? How long have you been streaming?
My first stream was December 2013, and I first started streaming 2013 in December. I had no idea what I was doing, and then I always say May 15th, 2014 is the day my stream blew up and I gained momentum, and that's really where I started to read into it a little bit more and ask viewers and just read stuff on the internet to see how to make my stream better, how people do it, and learn about overlays and OBS and all this other stuff. So I'd say the better part of a year is when I really got into it. So May, not quite a year yet, but I'd say May. Yeah, it's when I really got interested in it. Because prior to that, it was just I would just stream to help out my free company or my link shells. I tell them, hey, I'm gonna go do Titan X. If you guys want to watch, you guys want to learn the fight, you can check out the channel. And then I don't know what happened in May. I got lucky and here we are today.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
How long do you think I've been streaming for?
I don't know. Let me see how many. I'm gonna cheat and see how many.
All right, since
views.
You're gonna cheat, I'm gonna go ahead and say, well, yeah, guess by my views too. I mean, that's pretty good. And I've only started streaming. All right, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I started streaming January 1st of this year.
Yeah. I was gonna say like a couple months.
Yeah.
3,000 views. I mean, you're on the right track. With MogTalk, and you got a good group here with Adagio and Jilly.
Yeah, these guys have been pretty awesome. I mean, these guys are also kind of new streamers too, right? You guys have been streaming for a few months. Actually, Gilly, how long have you been streaming?
When did we start? When Final Coil started, actually. We lost a Dragoon from Second Coil, who was actually recording our progression and stuff, so we can kind of see like mechanics where we messed up and stuff. As soon as he left, we didn't have really that type of recording feature to actually see, so I just went ahead and started doing it. It was mainly for my progression, for our group's progression purposes, than me trying to stream, trying to get big.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I was streaming just because I thought it would be kind of fun to learn how to stream. And it's been for me, it's actually kind of a hobby right now. And I'm enjoying it. Adagio, what got you into streaming, man?
Mainly just trying to promote the community. Like I always say, servers seem pretty clicky. You get your core raid group, and you pretty much just do everything with your raid group. You don't really tend to get outside of that. So, I mean, hopefully I can just gather a bunch of the community in my stream and, hey, let's go do something. Okay. I mean, get them in my chat, get them talking amongst each other, and just, open it up some, help the server flourish.
That's a good way to start. That's a good place to start, because originally I started helping out my free companies and my link shells with the streams, telling them to watch me to learn the fights. And then eventually, I got the idea that, forums suck, Reddit sucks, Guildworks is
trolling
not, so the way I saw it was like, you can either take time and read into like basic stuff, or you can hop on a stream and get like live help right away from hopefully a good streamer who's going to answer your questions.
Yeah.
So then my stream kind of evolved from there, right? So I think as a suggestion for new streamers, it's figure out where you want to position yourself initially, and then from there you can either set a point B or just kind of let it evolve like I have, and go from there, right? So that's where we are now. So you if you're doing it just for recording purposes and figuring out what you're doing wrong, that's cool. But if it goes into something bigger than that, then go with the momentum.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you'll like it a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's streaming to me should be a lot bigger than it is right now for Final Fantasy 14, because there's a lot of games out there that people are streaming. I've seen Clash of Clans has some a little bit higher viewers than some of the streamers we have.
Yeah.
And it's kind of depressing.
That comes down to the game, though. I mean, it really comes down to the game. MMORPGs are a little bit tougher to stream.
Mm-hmm.
World of Warcraft is big on the list, so that's the counterpoint to saying MMORPGs are boring to watch. If WoW streamers can make it up there, why can't Final Fantasy 14? And I think it's just a matter of the audience and making people aware of what an awesome game Final Fantasy 14 is.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, what do you think about the current streaming community, Samus?
I think it's real solid. People are pretty nice to new streamers, and it's real easy to get into. With streaming, it's there's very low barriers. You need OBS, you need a camera, you need a game, you need a computer that can run it, and I think there's two sides you can move towards. You can move towards high end rating, or world first kind of thing where a lot of shit about the fights, or some people move towards crafting and they're like expert crafters.
Mm-hmm.
Or the other end of the spectrum is you could just be a really fun dude and people can just like watching you stream, and you might not be awesome at the game, but you know what, you're a lot of fun to watch. So where you stand on that spectrum, it's up to you, right? That's figuring out yourself and what your strengths are. Maybe you're right in the middle. Maybe you're right in the exact middle. It's hard. Every streamer's different, and the audience is so wide that you can't cater to everyone. And I think that's the important thing. There's enough for people. There's enough to go around. There's tons of viewers out there.
Okay. And I will note that the stream is having a slight hiccup right now, at least with the the upload and downloads kind of jumping a little bit. So I'm going to do a quick restart here.
Okay.
And I'm going to just turn down the encoding and see if that helps out at all. Usually on MogTalk nights it does pretty well. Actually, it just went straight back to perfect. Got my little green light here in the corner of OBS. But I'll stick with it for a second, and then if it gets back again, I'll do a restart on it. It just, some nights it's horrible, some nights it's good. Mondays have been perfect all the time until tonight. Samus, did you bring anything with you?
Yeah, probably the viewers in my channel. They're DDoSing us right now.
Oh, okay, fair
They're
enough.
hackers. Yep, that's it.
All right, well, so speaking of streaming again, so have you streamed anything besides Final Fantasy 14, or is it mainly just 14 that you stream right now?
I stream Final Fantasy 14 and a bit of Battlefield 4. But most of my time I spend on Final Fantasy 14, and then when there's maintenance or when there's downtime or servers are broken, then I'll do stuff with the channel. I'll stream Minesweeper sometimes, and yeah, people will watch Minesweeper if you're fun about it, right? That's what it comes down to. I mean, you can be really awesome at Minesweeper, or you can have a lot of fun with people when you're streaming, right? Or you're interactive too. I mean, I've played Cards Against Humanity with the channel before, so that's been some fun as well. But mostly it's Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I mean, I think that 14, the streaming community needs to grow a little bit. You hit this point to where, what else do you have to stream besides in-game raiding and doing dungeons and leveling new classes? And you just kind of run out of things to do, right? Go ahead.
I think if you keep it interesting, you could be doing Titan X and you can make it fun. An example. I heard you guys talk about Titan X last week on last week's episode, and you guys were saying Titan X is one of your favorites. I think Jilly, you said it was one of your favorite fights. And I really like Titan X too, but to make it interesting, you do something fun. Something I've done in the past is no UI and first-person view.
Oh yeah.
As a tank and as a DPS, but I don't think that's a good idea as a healer.
I will kind of go on that note too. I have an Oculus Rift, which I don't know if everybody knows what Oculus Rift is. It's basically a headset that is a virtual reality headset. And so one night I wanted to stream and have the Oculus Rift on while I have a virtual desktop going, and then do a fisheye view. So it's kind of a virtual reality Final Fantasy, and do first person. I did that as a bard. I felt sick. I lost viewers, and it didn't work out for me at all. And I think it could have been just because of how frustrating and how weird it was just to have that setup going. And maybe my computer just couldn't handle it properly at that time. But
that sounds like fun, though. That sounds like so much fun.
It's weird. I mean, it's not optimized for virtual reality, so you really have to work hard to make it even seem remotely like it's a virtual reality
Sure.
setup. So, I guess another question I have for you is that you have a couple things that your followers know about. One is the Evolved Male tag. So, what brought that about?
The name Evolved Male started probably about 4 or 5 years ago when somebody said, "Hey, you should do some stuff on the internet." Because prior to 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't do much on the internet. I had email, and that was it. So then this one dude is like, "Hey, you know what, man? You have some pretty interesting talks with people. Why don't you write a blog?" So I created a blog, and I started with a blog of wanting to help people. And so again, I started with a point of, okay, I want to help people. Who do I want to help? I want to help those weird, awkward dudes out there who have a hard time getting through life because maybe they're socially weird, or they have ego issues with either too much or too little. So I got big into like self-improvement, the self-improvement thing, like Tony Robbins kind of shit, but not as cheesy. I think I wanted to take a more applicable approach to it, make it relevant to people that are like my age, or going through the struggles that I went through. And so I created the persona of the Evolved Male, where you start at point A and then you work on self-improvement and then communication, and then being the alpha male is the third step. And so you're evolving and you're moving to become a better person, right? Not just in career or with romance. It's like everything in life, because I think everything we learn from one aspect of life, we can apply to other stuff. Video games and life and romance and relationships. Like, it's all applicable. You just got to be creative and figure out how it is applicable. And so that's why I came up with the name Evolved Male, because you are moving, you are changing, you're building momentum towards change in the right direction, and evolving, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I have to admit, when I first heard that tag, I always thought, this guy's probably a cocky, SOB. I don't know if I want to talk too much to him. But, I watched your stream, and I saw that's completely different, and you just have kind of a good idea about how gamers probably should be. I mean, when I grew up and I was in high school, I thought I was the ugliest person in high school. And I hated myself. I played games, and I kind of stuck myself in a corner or away from anyone. If a girl talked to me, I was like, get away from me. Don't stop being a jerk. I know you're just trying to tease me. But, as you start to get more comfortable in your skin and you get out there and you start doing other things, I agree. I mean, video games can add to your confidence. There's lots of things that video games can do to actually help your life out. Team building, leadership roles.
Yep.
I mean, I've done multiple bits of research on it, too. And so I completely agree with you there.
Yeah, it's taking the lessons and just applying them, right? And you could bring outside stuff into video games as well. It just so happens now I got involved in Twitch because the audience of Twitch and video games is kind of similar to what my original audience was with the blog. The socially awkward, the less than confident people, the betas out there who want to do better and become alphas. It just kind of worked out, so it seemed very natural for me to move from blogging into streaming. But streaming was like a huge leap, like I always tell my channel, it's like I'm not trained in acting or public speaking or anything like that. I'm the last guy who should be on TV because I'm ugly as fuck. So so I said, you know what, let's just jump into the fire and just start with streaming and see where it takes me, and that's here we are now, right? So
yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, it just kind of fluked out. Maybe it's a fluke. Some people say, maybe you had it planned all along. I mean, I would never imagine playing video games and just hanging out with people like this in the past. I mean, I would do this in real life, in person, when I'm hanging out with my friends. But Twitch, it was something different for me. And so it worked out well. I mean, it really did. The transition was really cool. I didn't blog as much. I didn't do as much writing. I started curating my blog instead, which is where I would go out and I would find articles that were really cool, and then I would throw them back onto my blog, evolvedmale.com, by the way.
No, go ahead, promote. Do it.
Yeah. I would go out there and, I just didn't have time to write anymore because of my career. I was working a lot, and I couldn't write articles, but instead of writing, I would go out there and I would find really awesome articles out there. They'd be from other cool websites like Art of Manliness was the one that I really liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Art of Manliness is a really cool website.
It is. It is. That guy doesn't take any advertisements on his site either, does he? Or is that the wrong guy that I'm thinking of? There's one guy that does that.
I don't think he has much. He was one of the sources that I would look at, and obviously anything that I threw on my link, I would toss it back to them, give them full credit for it. AskMen.com, there's some cool stuff on there as well. Just generally, just anything that makes you be a better person. What are those shortfalls? Like every week I would look at it differently and say, this is what I feel like. This is what I feel people might be lacking out there.
Yeah. Well. I am actually going to do a quick restart because it is still jumping around a little bit, but we'll come back up in just a second. Hold on. Hold tight.